Warning: this video will cover some heavy topics, including DV, stalking, abuse, harassment, and other topics of that matter. If you cannot handle these topics, please feel free to click off. Check my channel for other videos. As always, do not witch hunt or harass anyone mentioned goblinthingzyt. Hello everyone. I know it's been a while since I posted commentary, and I promise there's a good reason. I've been moving here recently, got engaged, and have been dealing with some personal issues. Today's video will touch upon these issues. I am not going to sugarcoat anything, so please feel free to sit back and watch me expose my stalker. The abuse started around 2022, whenever I first broke up with my fiancé, due to him leaving for basic training and such. I was 15 around this time, so keep that in mind. I started getting random friend requests from two profiles, one being a boy named Nathan with a Pinterest emo guy picture and one being Lila Howard with a Pinterest emo girl picture. Where Facebook has this weird thing. You can't see any messages from an account that has blocked you. It's really fucking stupid and not safe at all for getting crucial evidence. Anyways, I'm rambling. I have zero evidence for what I'm about to claim, so please take this how you will, and or with a grain of salt. The Nathan account had messaged me after I added it back. Why did I add it back? It said he went to my school, so I thought I may had known him. The Nathan account started to flirt with me, and I was uncomfortable. I called my fiancé's ex out on her bullshit. For some reason I immediately thought it was her, but I turned out to be right. Not long after this, the Lila account messaged me asking for nude photos and calling me sexy. Once again, I do not have any proof of this because I deleted the message threads when it first happened in 2022. At the time his ex was 20 and I was 15. Life goes on for a bit. It's 2023. I get into a new relationship, started having fun with life. My grandmother receives a text message from my fiancé's ex. They were now dating again, and she demanded any pictures of him to be deleted off my page. My grandmother is confused and asks me to just delete them. But me being me, I texted her telling her I would delete them, but to just leave me and my family alone because I was in a brand new relationship. I then received a message from my now fiancé, her being the one who had sent it. Anywho, another year goes by and it's 2024. None of us had spoken with each other. I had recently been trying to make amends with everyone in my life, past exes, past friends, and so on and so forth. I texted her number telling her I was sorry for the way I had came off, and that I didn't want there to be any beef. We texted for a few nights and became friends. Was it weird? Yeah. Did I care? Honestly, not really at that point. One less person hated me, and that felt great. During our friendship, I would drive an hour and a half to go see her, hang out with her, and constantly spent money on her due to her not having a job. I didn't care though. We had become good friends after a while. We bonded over trauma, bonded over hobbies, and every little thing. After a while though, things go really tough to deal with. She would start coming to me about relationship problems, about her and my then ex. It was weird and an awkward spot to be in. She would constantly ask me if I wanted to have threesomes with them or flirt with me. She love-bombed me and said she wished me and her were together. At the time I was dating someone and it was a hard place to be in. I stopped texting her as often. One night my then ex and her asked me and my then boyfriend to come up and drink with them, which we did occasionally. So I drove up there and was ready to party. Trigger warning for sexual assault and DV. During the night, Jay had become very drunk, constantly touching on me, saying out-of-pocket stuff. I had went outside on the porch to clear my head. Whenever I drank, I never got too drunk, only tipsy. She of course followed me outside like she usually did. She was constantly attached to my hip. She then reached over and tried to kiss me, and I pushed her away. Not only did she do this once, but twice that night. I was so uncomfortable being there, but I had no ride home, so I just swallowed my hurt and went back inside and drank. There were 3 other people there with us that night. My now ex, her then boyfriend, and one of their friends. They're all boys and hicks, so they had brought up boxing gloves to fight with. which is hilarious to watch, not gonna lie. But then Jay asked her boyfriend to box and everyone just looked around at each other. At these parties they held, it was known for Jay to get shit-faced and start screaming and yelling at everyone. She always blamed it on her bipolar, but whatever. Anyways, Jay convinced her then boyfriend to box with her. I reminded everyone no face shots, no below the hips, common rule at the house. Jay started punching softly at him, but he wouldn't hit back. After a couple more swings, Jay got mad at him for not hitting back. So he started doing little taps back and forth. Her anger only increased. She started swinging anywhere and everywhere, face shots included. Everyone else was starting at each other, wondering who was going to stop it. I was mad. Everyone was, drunk or not, she was standing there abusing him. During the fit of rage, she was screaming out insults at him, personal issues between the two. Everything was laid out on the table. After a couple more hits, she fell down to the floor and started crying, calling him a bitch and anything she could think of. All he could do was hold her at the time. Everyone else decided to step out onto the porch for the time being. 15 minutes of her crying and everyone walks back in. This may have been wrong of me, sure, but I pulled him outside and asked him if he was okay. We sat outside and talked for 30 minutes, me constantly telling him people shouldn't do that to you. I noticed his eye had been blacked, along with his jaw being dislocated from the attack. I was mad. We all were. We all just sat and watched. It was a hard situation to stop, for them. That kind of behavior was normal, he had told me. I told him it isn't normal, and that he should seek help for what's happening to him. My then boyfriend and his friend come outside and talk to him as well. I stepped back inside and decided to drink more before falling asleep. The next day I went home. After that day, I stopped talking to Jay, not entirely, but maybe one text a week. She would constantly ask my boyfriend to tell me stuff, constantly asking me if I was okay. It was hard. Not only was I sad, but my friend was abused right in front of me, and I couldn't do anything but watch. Maybe 3 to 4 weeks go by after this, still lacking communication with Jay. I'm at work, dressed up for Halloween, and I get a text notification from her boyfriend. A long one, asking me what I would do if I was in his shoes. I sighed. I hated being put between couples. I was mad I kept getting put between them, but I also knew he needed help and to hear what I was thinking. I told him straight up that he needed better. He needed to break up with her because she wasn't mentally there. She was hitting him and verbally abusing him daily. I told him that she was a good friend to me, and I hated saying it, but love isn't abuse, love isn't lust, love is love. I left the conversation at that and went back to work, went home and slept. I woke up in the morning to over 50 text messages from her, calling me a snake, a homewrecker, a whore, and a bitch. She did all of that and blocked me on all of her accounts and her boyfriends before I could get a word in. Not only did she text me these things, she texted my then boyfriend and told him I had tried to kiss her, that I had sexually assaulted her, and that I was the worst kiss she had ever had. She didn't stop there. She continued to text my disabled grandmother, going off about me, calling me a bad friend and a bitch. I couldn't do anything but watch, blocked on everything. No say in the matter. Days go by, twiddling my thumbs, itching with rage. When I get a message from her boyfriend's number, I flipped a coin and, well, things are done. Confused is all I could say. I felt. Didn't know why he had texted me of all people, but I responded. I told him that I was proud of him, proud he wasn't dealing with the abuse anymore and he should feel good about himself. A couple days go by and my then boyfriend had broken up with me to get back with his ex. If you're seeing this, Josh, no hate, thanks for getting me into Overwatch. I was heartbroken. Well, sorta. We dated for 2 months. Heartbroken isn't the word. But I was sad. I started texting my ex, her ex-boyfriend. For the sake of shit, we'll call him Jimmy. We were both going through our own heartaches, and just decided to hang out and be friends. Be there for each other. He asked me to come up to his place, and I had spent the night with him. Over the span of a month, we started talking every day and remembering the past. In November, we decided to go on a date and get back together. Little did we know there was someone watching us and fuming with hate. The first video one posted with Jimmy immediately got a few shares and comments. One being from Jay's then best friend telling me that didn't take long. I then received multiple messages my Jay's sister. The reason she says this is because Jay went and told everyone that me and him got together while they were still dating. Which isn't true. The fact of the matter is she got with someone 3 days after the breakup, but nobody wants to talk about that. I was just confused as to why she had her sister text me, but in the end it was all her texting me. Me and her actual sister got on an hour-long call and discussed everything. Me and her talked about the abuse she puts people through and her narcissistic tendencies. Not to mention she's also racist. Not to mention the countless TikToks she's made about me running my fiancé's name into the ground. At one point she even had a friend of hers publicly post our address onto TikTok, with it getting over 100+ views. After this video went up, I had state police sent to my house. They had a report sent out that I was threatening people's lives, abusing animals, and other petty things. This is most of the stalking and harassment issue, but I want to delve into some other harrowing acts she's committed. When we were friends and I would come over, she would always be watching Jimmy's nephew due to his dad working long shifts. This baby has mental and physical disabilities, leaving him not able to walk or talk at the age of 2. At times me, my fiancé, my ex, and their friend have witnessed Jay scream at this baby, smack this baby in the face, and leave him alone in a dark room with soiled diapers. Thankfully, she no longer has access to this baby. At other times there were 2 dogs and a cat in the household. I would witness her scream and smack these dogs along with the cat, just because they were being animals. She would always buy animals and end up giving them away because of them literally just acting like an animal. This problem has been going on for years. Last minute update. She's wrote an AI song about me and my fiancé. Let that be our outro. Anyways, thank you guys for all the love and support across all my platforms. Without you guys, I would have never had the courage to upload this. Check my channel for other videos. And have a great day, goblins.